I get the same feeling, so I'm coming day and night.
Can you fly, Bobby?
Can't piss on hospitality. I won't allow it.
She's already contaminated by this odd substance.
Jesus wept.
I want you to get up right now and go to the window, open it, and stick your head out and yell, "I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not gonna take this anymore!"
Bam, bam, ba, ba. It's Evening with Michael Keene, not the theocracy writer, or not the religion writer, not the guitarist for Faceless, but just some fucking guy, Michael Keene. Yeah. Oh yeah, I saw that about rolling 4Ks, baby. My chat thing is weird. Oh well. Yeah. I need to do another quadruple BN. It'll be my 100th quadruple BN. Ooh. And that'll probably be the big thing we talk about. And yeah, Shiver of the Vampires. Great film. Great film. Very excited about that one. I haven't seen the other one, which is the two vampire bitches. John Rowland's Two Vampire Bitches, the movie. But yeah, I need to dig into that more. Yeah. Funny enough, I was going to do my Shiver of the Vampires video edit tonight for my patrons. I was going to record it and edit it. And then I spent all of today feeling like actual fucking garbage. And so I have not had time to really do much. And now it's 7 p.m. I have to get up with the kiddo in the morning. And I was like, you know what? I can't. I gotta throw in the towel, brah. Gotta throw in the towel, and I just gotta do a stream. I just gotta do a random stream. So I have a few trailers here, and I just want to talk about some general stuff. If you guys want me to talk about something specific, please let me know in the chat, because I'll talk about just about anything. Top 3: Living Dead Girl, Grapes of Death, and Iron Rose. All 3 I have not seen, so rad. Yeah, I need to get back on the Roland train, because I have been stuck and have not given my patrons their Jean Roland due in many a month. So starting sometime this week, I'm gonna redo that. I saw a news article about the Earth's inner core stopped turning, just assuming it's marketing for the core getting a 4K UHD release, either that or the end of the world, whichever. I actually did read about that, and apparently that happens once every, I think it was 70 years? I think it was once every 70 years. I could be misremembering slightly. The way my brain works, it could have been once every 30 years, but it was something less than 100 years. The Earth's core, I guess, reverses its spin, which is really interesting, and existentially horrifying. So let's look at some trailers. So first off, I have the Boogeyman on screen. So this was going to be a streaming release, and then 20th Century, I guess Disney technically, decided, no, actually we're going to make this a theatrical release. But and that's cool. The Boogeyman is a short story by Stephen King. It is one of 2 things that I have some pre-knowledge of the source material that we'll be talking about today. And it's a very dark story. It's a short story by Stephen King that's decades old. I feel like we can deal in some spoilers. I saw Infinity Pool today. It was so awesome. Very Franco-feeling Desaad type film to me. I highly recommend it. Oh, God. Oh, Jason, you get me. Right in the giblets. I really want to see Infinity Pool. So much so, I have not watched a single trailer. I've seen stills, not by choice, and that is it. And I just haven't had time to go to the theater. So I hopefully this week, I have a bunch of stuff I need to get done over the next 2 days. That's really time sensitive, and so I'm very excited for Infinity Pool. It looks like my jam based on my limited knowledge, and yeah, I'm looking forward to it. So anyway, let's look at this Boogeyman trailer because this is really cool. My eye. And actually, let's see how this looks. Let's just embiggen it, and there we go. I feel like I can just make this nice and chunky. That's what I'll do. Let's make this nice and chunky. Fuck it. All right. Boogeyman, the short story, is bonkers. It is bonkers. A lot of child death. Really, the whole story is child death. It's just child death. And then one kind of somewhat random twist at the very end. And it's a good twist. I won't spoil the twist of the short story because it's really not all that pertinent. But the short story is, again, chock full of child death. Yeah, agreed. Does that work? Yeah. It's chock full of child death. So, I was, when I heard about the movie, there's been short film versions. There was one really notable short film that was like one of the first short films based on a Stephen King story. But I think this is the first like real feature-length version. There's been other movies called The Boogeyman, but none related to the story. And my initial reaction is, how the fuck are you gonna do that, fam? So let's take a look. I have already watched this once, just to make sure. I also wanted to make sure that these trailers that I'm showing are not too spoilery. We'll get into that in detail in a bit. But I think this one, obviously it's hard to tell because of its relation to the short story. But anyway, let's take a look-see. Oh, I'm not on the right. There we go.
Okay, get in here. I don't know how you sleep with all these lights. What are you scared of?
By the way, and I'm going to be stopping a lot because, I don't want the copyright stuff, but I did just get my new pin. So I love this stuff right here. I love whenever there's like an organic source of light within a scene that can be like moved and played with. And it's not doing too much, which I think is very, it shows a lot of restraint on the part of the DP or the director, because I would have been blowing that shit all over. That would be my like primary source of light. But instead we have a lamp over here that sensibly is brighter. It would make sense. I don't think I've ever seen a child's light like this be brighter than their lamp. But love that. And let's see if this works as well as I think it will. Oh, God. How do I... do. Oh, no. Did I fuck up the settings for this already? Let's see here. I'll just... All right. Cool. So, yeah, I like the soft... It's nothing... It's not, it's not like blow your mind cinematography so far, but we'll get there. But already a nice professional look. It doesn't look like a total piece of shit. It does not look cheap or low budget. So already we're off to a good start. Love that silhouette.
I don't see anything.
And I love that there's plenty of darkness elsewhere. It's sort of bordering the scene. Right here, and then we've got just this rectangle of light. That's great. Also, you have the little girl in the foreground here, just kind of... Oh, actually, no, never mind. That's just the wall. Never mind. But you have stuff, I think her covers in the foreground, just creating a little bit of soft border as well. I think that's dank AF, fam. Dank AF. Let me look at something real quick. Off screen. Oh yeah, and guys, like the video. Let's see. I'm getting used to my hotkeys here. Clear. Oh, there's nothing for clear. Okay. So let's boop. Okay, can't do that. How about delete? Nope. Okay. How about Alt H? Okay. Anyway, so let's see here.
Okay.
So he's
monster check complete.
perfect. All right, so we have this great little dolly in on the little girl. And if you've read the short story, you're already like, oh, fuck me. Oh, Jesus. Oh, God, no. And really not too big of a deal. This is, spoilers, not going to be super bonkers as far as... Here, let me just adjust this a little bit because it's driving me nuts. All right. Not as bonkers as I would have thought. Although, who knows? I wasn't paying attention to who the child actors were. I believe this is the girl who's throughout the entire trailer, but maybe I'm misremembering. But I get the feeling this is not a movie that's going to kill a lot of kids. I feel like there's going to be a big departure there, which isn't too shocking. I think even Stephen King would probably, like if he was writing this, would probably find a way of doing it without killing a bunch of kids. He's probably softened a bit over time and, with the family and all that. But yeah, yes, horror movies have taught us to fear darkness in a frame, and I love it. But so we have this little ball. So let's see what she does with this. Oh boy, jump scare. Already, it's just like, oh fuck. Oh, and I love this basket right here being the potential boogeyman. That is so good. If you go back. Right. Oh God, yeah. I love it. A little misdirect. Little baby misdirect. Oh, and then there's something else comes out. You see the little flicker of legs as it pops under the bed. So we have an actual creature, and then whoop! I love it. I talked about this in the oh shoot, what was it? The Friday the 13th, that fan film teaser with what's his face, where he comes out of his dream and it transitions from the lake to his bedroom with the twist of the camera, the rotation rather. I'm a sucker for it, man. It's pretty cheap, it's pretty simple, it's very effective. I love that. And of course we have her ball, her source of light, and of course we have darkness, and of course it's it's preying on our natural worries about looking under the bed. So in the short story, these are crib deaths, much younger children. I believe they're all. I have not read the story in years, but I believe they are all infants. So not as old as Sawyer is here, which again makes sense. The problem with the story is it's really the story. It's about a father worrying about the death of his children. It's a very it's a very good story for the page. I don't know that it translates very easily to a feature film without being super depressing. Yeah, roll that ball. Boom! Oh yeah, love it. Should probably not yell. My son is asleep right now. So right there we get our first look at the creature. And it looks like, I know it's supposed to be kind of a, it's obviously supposed to have like a bit of like a skull type look to it. Has the two eyes that are kind of lit up, which reminds me of it was Toddlers, thank you. So yeah, so toddlers, still very small children, much younger than this girl. But it reminds me, there's a short film, which oh fudge, I'm gonna look it up now because I don't recall the name, that uses this trope, which we'll see a little bit later in this trailer, of the two very tiny little eyes in the darkness. It's a very different short film, but I should definitely pimp it. Not that it needs pimping. It's one of those shorts that has like millions of views on YouTube, so it's not like I'm going to be... Portrait of God. That's what it is. Portrait of God. Very good little short. Might take a look at that. But anyway, so that's your Boogeyman, which I believe in the story is basically described as a monster. So works for me.
It's been around forever. Hidden. In the dark.
These always bug the shit out of me because like this is a pet peeve. This is like my least favorite thing about John Carpenter's Prince of Darkness, which is arguably his best film, is that I went past the thing, so I'll go back. But when they go down and they find the Satan jar, there's all these candles lit for it. And it's when they first find it, too. Like, the very first time that Donald Pleasance and what's-his-fuck go down into the basement, and you see it, and it's just candles, 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 candles. And you just think to yourself, who lit all these candles? But that said, it looks cool. And who knows, maybe it's a dream sequence. But anytime it's like a real live sequence and there's candles everywhere, it drives me nuts because I just think of like lighting all those fucking candles individually. Let's go back a little bit.
It's been around forever.
So we also have we have a lot of characters as well. Just right off the bat, there's a lot of characters in this, whereas the short story is really just about a dad and his psychiatrist and his children, and I think is the mother. Look at that. Oof. That's good. Those two eyes in the darkness. Yeah, there it is. So this is something that's done pretty much verbatim in Portrait of God.
In the dark.
The difference is in Portrait of God, she raises a projector screen.
It's like all those spooky monsters you think are hiding under your bed.
So that's also interesting. The psychiatrist is maybe... Because that's Rita. No, that's Sadie. Okay. So that, I'm assuming, is supposed to be the psychiatrist from the book.
I think are hiding under your bed. It's not real.
That's supposed to... Oh, I guess it's like charcoal?
What is this?
Das Malchen! Oh, God. I got so excited to seeing Das Malchen that I was just like, yes! That's true. The It remake did it as well, yeah.
It's the thing, Nick.
By the way, this is... I always like to talk about these little minor details in movies because I think they are really important. It's one thing to create a shot that's like really beautiful and has like, all these sources of light and darkness intermingling to create a beautiful image. But sometimes it's the simple things that really just make me happy. And I love a strong silhouette. Here we have our central silhouette. And behind her we have this bright light. I don't know how to switch my... Let's see, can I... I can't. Oh my God, that's amazing. So we have this bright light behind her, this lamp, and that's really our key light. I think a lot of young indie filmmakers, just young indie filmmakers, make this mistake of always wanting the key light to be up front and lighting, from the top, or not from the top, from the front. And that's silly. Sometimes you don't need a real key light. This is technically, it's a backlight or an edge light, but it's our key light in the frame. So I'm going to refer to it as the key light. And this is so perfect. So we have some additional lighting over here from what looks like maybe like the kitchen or something. Can't really tell, but it looks like it's like one of those little like windows from the living room into the kitchen. And then this key light in the back, this lamp, is giving us a nice framed shot of our character. And then, second, I'm trying to. This is part of the stream is just me making an excuse to use this this app, so I can get used to it. And then we have on the sides darkness, darkness, darkness. I love this. This is it's very simple. It uses very basic concepts in cinematography. You have the dark framing on the sides, which is leading your eyes towards the center. This light right here doesn't really matter too much. It just adds a little extra dimension. That's a bit of just like garnish on the side of the image. It's not brighter than the lamp. It is specifically about on par with the outer edges of the light right here. And so it's not distracting you. It's just something to give the eye and the subconscious something more in the frame. And then, of course, framing. Just basic ass, take your subject, frame them. And we have right here our frame. And then as far as lighting on her face right here is just some fill. I would say it's there's probably a bounce card. Very, not, like a white or, oh shoot, I'm not thinking of like off-white bounce card, something like that. I could do some smut stuff, not tonight obviously, but I can break down some smut, sure. But yeah, so you have very, very, like, this could even be just ambient light, and because I mean this is almost definitely shot digitally. I don't know for a fact, but it looks like it was probably shot digitally, and so this could just be the natural high dynamic range of the image being used and maybe brought up in the edit a little bit. I don't know. But it's either that or just a little bit of fill from like a reflector, basically. So, oh yeah, and rule of thirds. Thank you, Jason. Also rule of thirds. How should I... One second, I'm trying to get used to this. So you have 3 sections to the... I keep thinking, by the way, that the mat is like where my pin stops. I'm being very dumb. Anyway, so you have your 1, 2, 3, of course, middle. So another great thing about framing like this is you could switch this up. Now, they are specifically using the 2 sides to center the subject and draw your eye in, but you could just as easily switch these up and take number 2 and make it number 1, something like that. And just, as long as you're within one of those 3 frames, it will be relatively pleasing to the eye. I think for this situation, it's probably, this is probably the best option, but, there's all sorts of ways to vary this up, and I think it's neat. I just think it's neat. All right, so let's...
It's the thing that comes for your kids.
Dost Malchin, baby! I just love seeing him and stuff. He has such a great story. Yeah, this is your basic window lighting type shot that we've talked about before. I just love his face, too. He has such a great face.
You're not paying attention.
Oh, wait, is... I'm just going to make sure that's not my car making that sound. Ugh. There's always some car alarm going off in this neighborhood. It drives me nuts. All right. All right, so... Let's see. Oh, God, I love a good running shot, too. There's nothing really to talk about here, but I just love a good running shot. Like, you're following along. I love that there's the glare of the street lamp right here. Oh, God. Oh. Apparently, I can use my pen to switch to eraser, but I can't... Huh. Uh-oh. G-Ink crashed. Lame. Lame. One second. I'm just going to have to do a little doopity-doop. Da. Just abort the action. What the hell? Okay. That was weird. Oh god. So yeah, I just love that motion. It's probably, I guess this could be on a steady or a gimbal or something, but it's probably a dolly shot. And this is at least the old way you would do it, is you would set up a dolly track and just have her run along the dolly track. Not like on it, but like to the side of it. Oh shit. On the right. Oh, and we got this. God, there's so many nice little shots. Let's see here. You've got the little girl right here, you know, trying to be quiet on the couch while the creature. I'm wondering if like the rule they're gonna have like an arbitrary rule for the creature where it can't like get on the bed or like the sleeping surface. Just a thought. But basic blue, night is blue lighting, you know, from one direction because it'd be like a window pouring in light. Yeah, and you got your CGI beastie on the side. Potentially CGI beastie. I don't know for a fact that's CGI. I love that TV shot too. That's a great. Let's see, who is that? So some kid, I think. It's about the height of a TV lengthwise. So I mean, it's probably a child. So maybe we'll get kid is safe if their toes aren't poking out. Yeah, right. I love that shot. It does make me wonder: are we gonna get actual child death in this? Like, this could be really dark. We don't know.
You believe me, don't you?
That's good. Again, so good. And you kind of, you know, I love that. So one thing I love, this is a little off topic, but one thing I love about 2001: A Space Odyssey is the way that the monolith, and I saw there was some, and I don't think this is an actual, like, the reason for anything in it, but people have noted that if you turn it sideways, it is the screen, like the exact aspect ratio of 2001. I'm not sure there's anything to that. I think it might just be coincidence. But what I love about that is it means that you basically throughout the film have like a frame in every frame that it appears. Dumb thought. I just that's one thing I think about. But anyway, I love the three windows here. I think that's great. It provides, it reminds your brain of that rule of thirds, for one thing. It's very symmetrical. You know, you have basically, this is your frame within a frame. Actually, well, maybe more like that. Ignore that. But here's your frame within a frame, and she's moving out from the center of the framing and into the left-hand side of the frame. You have the boogeyman who is rising out of the darkness, because darkness is the horror director's best friend. And I think that's great. Everything else is kind of, it doesn't really matter so much. You know, I think the reason that the shot's so wide is so that you can have this, the boogeyman coming out of the shadow. Whereas if it was actually like right here, you know, it wouldn't be a surprise as much. It would still be a surprise because it would be coming out of frame, but it's not as much of a visual shock because, of course, you know, you're looking at all this freaking darkness. There's so much darkness, and then out of one of those places, your mind's kind of racing like, where could it be? And then it pops out right here, and that is fantastic. That's a good cinematography and scene stuff, whatever the word is. So love that. The Boogeyman. How much you want to bet that there's gonna be a lot of people who are like, oh, like the Ashton Kutcher. Wait, was it Ashton Kutcher? I don't remember. Now I gotta look this up. Wait a second. I can't remember if it was Ashton Kutcher. Boogeyman, 2005. No, it was Barry Watson? Who the fuck is Barry Watson? Huh. For some reason, I always thought that Boogeyman starred Ashton Kutcher, but it is Barry Watson. What a time to be alive. What a time to be alive. How about... Wait a second, I gotta get my shit together. Also, right? Is that, like, I just want Beau is Afraid so hard. Real quick, what do we got here as far as talent? Let's see who we can... let's see here. Oh, God, this is what I get for leaving Brave. So, Rob Savage. Who is Rob Savage? Oh, he's the director of Dashcam and host. Wow, that's really cool. Good for him. Good for him going from host in 2020 to fucking directing a feature-length, theatrically released Stephen King adaptation. That's the dream, baby. That's the fucking dream. Good for him. Holy shit. That's amazing. Like, it was short films, little TV, nothing too crazy, and then what does he do? He makes the most of the pandemic and quarantine and all that. Makes Host, makes a splash, does a movie that a lot of people have had a lot of thoughts on that I have not watched, so I have no opinion, and then Stephen King adaptation. And to go from making a movie for streaming and then theoretically it being so good that it goes to theaters. Like, that's got to feel good. Good for him. What else has he got going on? Let's see here. Night of the Ghoul. Do we know anything about this? Based on a novel by Scott Snyder. And Francesca... I don't understand... Wait, what? I don't know these people. Well, I know Scott Snyder. I'm assuming that this is a fellow comic book writer. I don't know why I clicked on Scott Snyder. But anyway, yeah. Rob Savage fucking making it work, man. Good for him. And what do we got? We got a few... I'm not going to look at the writers. I don't really care right now. But I am curious about who shot this baby. Let's see. Eli Bourne. Oh, that's... I was like, where do I know that name from? Because he did the Hellraiser reboot. Good for him, too, because, like, this is, like, not a lot going on. It's a lot of music video stuff. A lot of music video stuff. Holy shit. Wait a second. Good. Okay, so there's some filmage here, I think. But a lot of short films. God damn, this guy cut his goddamn teeth. And then blah, 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 blah. Does Wild Indian. And then fucking Hellraiser. And now he's got the Boogeyman and some more stuff. That's great. Good on everyone involved. That makes me so happy for them. All right, so yeah. Good stuff. I'm very excited about that. Look at that. I got a half hour out of that fucking trailer. All right. This next one, I just wanted to watch again because I watched it once, and I'm still not sure I really know what it's about. It's called The Strays. It's coming to Netflix. A lot of people in the comments that are not going to load say that it reminds them of Get Out, and I'm not sure, other than it potentially being about the Black experience to some degree, and being a thriller, how it really relates to Get Out. I feel like that might be a little racist. I don't know. Have I seen Labyrinth of Cinema? I haven't, but when you say one of the best movies of the last 10 years, that immediately gets me going. So let me actually, so I don't forget, Uh-oh. Are you gonna be a bad browser? Are you gonna be a bad browser? I think you're gonna be a bad browser. Oh, my old person aches and stuff. Oof. One second. What the fuck? I don't know what, like I did a driver update across my computer and it seemed to fix my internet issues for like 3 days. And then it's just back. Anyway, I'll come back to that. I'll come back to it. Luckily I don't have like, I don't have like Hassan Piker style chat. I can go and look back at it and not forget. But let's just take a look at this.
Welcome to our home.
But I love a good interior design shot. It's just a little thing. Love a good interior design shot. A lot of straight lines on this one. That's another good thing for aspiring cinematographers and directors and what have you, filmmakers in general, to remember is straight lines are a big friend of yours. Here we have and this is again very basic, but you have lines, horizontal and vertical. Boom, boom, boom. You have this nice little TV square right here. The couch is a straight line and a straight line. There's a table, straight line. Even books on the table, straight lines. Very sharp. And then you have the walls, of course, that give you the... there's a word for this, and I'm just like, for some reason, it is not coming to my brain. But the sides that are sending you towards the center, I just love that. It's nothing complicated. It's very 101. But again, it's just one of those things that makes me happy. Okay, so I'm trying to like figure out this story. So I did not catch this the first time, but her picture does make her look a little Caucasian. It looks maybe either it's the light's a little bright or it's color corrected or something, but she does look a little more pale than she does in the rest of the film. And then she has wigs, and we can see that... she has like a little cap on, I think. I think that's what that is. By the way, this is another good little... I'm not going to go all drawy on it, but the heads being at different heights, just visually very stimulating. They could be all the same, and it could still work, but a little variation goes a long way. And of course, also, love a good mirror shot. Of course, you have your in-frame practical lighting right here and right there. A lot of balls of light so far tonight, right? And so always nice to have those. They're specifically, this could just be how they are, because they're probably not terribly bright lights. So they might not have a dimmer, but most likely these all have either a dimmer attached to the cord, or they are like Bluetooth bulbs, or specifically like low wattage bulbs. There's different ways to do it, but usually in my opinion, the easiest way to do it is you just click it into a dimmer, which you can. I have a pretty industrial one, but you can literally just buy like a simple dimmer from like Home Depot that'll cost you like maybe $20, and you just have to make sure that it has the male and the female side, so you can plug it into an outlet and then plug the light into the other side, and you can dim to your heart's content. Very useful, extremely useful. I almost never use mine, but if you are less in love with your shots looking extra trashy and you want to make something that just looks very professional, super useful to have a dimmer. And then of course, gotta have a good mirror shot. You got, our character reflected twice. Love a good mirror shot. If you're a big fan of Franco, you also probably love a good mirror shot. But also, you've got her in the foreground, and you've got background elements as well. And it does feel like there's 3 layers here, because you have the background, which is the wall and the lights, and then you have the mirror in the foreground, and maybe like this junk over here too, but that's your mid ground rather, and then you have your foreground element, which is our character, who is dead center, or roughly dead center, I guess, but really so. And of course, another thing to always look out for, walls. This is a production design thing, but the walls are like a salmon pink, I'm gonna say, and that's one thing that drives me nuts and drives most people working in film nuts. It's white walls. Hate a white wall. Like, you can make a white wall work, be it through, again, like set dressing. You can use lighting to make a white wall work. For night scenes, white walls aren't as bad. Well, I take that back, actually. It depends on what kind of night scene. But, like you might throw a light with like a cookie or something on it, and throw a pattern against the wall, and that might help you if you can't paint the wall or do something about it. But in general, if I go into a place that's a potential shooting location, then I look at the walls, and if I see like this kind of thing, it immediately is up on my love scale. That's a gross term, love scale. I'm never going to say that again.
Wonderful morning, isn't it?
So does she like put on, how much makeup? Does it like specifically show her putting on?
Wonderful.
You don't really see.
Isn't it?
Oh, and okay, so she's practicing her caucasity, I guess. Okay, I'm starting to see it now. I kind of I guess was not paying a lot of attention when I first watched this. Love this outfit, by the way. It's extremely white, but that's interesting. That's very interesting. Okay.
You're practically one of us.
You're practically one of us. Okay. See, I was not even thinking about the race element, but now I get it. I get it. I was being dumb. Practically one of us. Because really, I'm a black. So, which is interesting, because I didn't, when I was watching this, I didn't think that she was passing as, but I guess it's that thing where it's like, oh, she could be like of Sicilian heritage or something, and people just aren't thinking about the fact that she's black. I get it. It makes sense. Okay, and you have this guy watching her, this notably the only black guy you're seeing anywhere around. Love, by the way, that his eye is perfectly framed by those flowers. I can only imagine them like, well, I guess, if he can see the camera, then the camera can see him. So I guess that's not too tough. And again, very simple framing here, very smart framing. You've got a dividing line right here, and that's, so he's, we can go into thirds again, actually. Jason, thank you for bringing that up. And here's your other thirds. So making use of empty space right here. There's not really a whole lot going on, but we do have geometry. So we have, these lines making 3 rectangles, and not much else going on here. This is empty space. This is negative space. You want to have negative space. Negative space is great. But outside of that negative space, of course, you have these 2 whiteys having brunch. I'm going to say white people like having brunch, right? And then you have the this window back here. Not only creates more variation, it creates a background. I'm getting to the mirror shot, Jason. Come on. So we have this window. So we have a deeper frame. We can see things going on in the background. There's movement. And then on this side of the frame, not only do we have Whitey, but we also have our black guy who's watching a lady. And so we actually get his eye twice. And I don't know that really is necessary on a narrative level, but well, I guess it could be. You could make the argument that it's creating a sense of entrapment where he's on both sides of frame, and it's creating a more sinister feel for the character. But the thing it's really doing is it's creating a pattern so that we have these two sides of the frame. You can also see there's the background from the, I guess this side. Yeah. So you also have that background also repeating to a degree on this side. And so you have dual frames interrupted by this foreground element of caucasity and a little separation so that you get a better sense of that and it doesn't look too weird. Great frame. Just a great frame. I love that. Got a perfect life. Got a white husband or mixed kids.
Morning, Miss Williams.
She's a teacher. Also, just gonna throw this out there. Bangin'. Also bangin'. Just gonna throw out bangin' on the list of things that she is. God damn. And then you have another, a young black woman shows up. We're kind of getting the idea. And she's like, what the fuck? So it seems like she maybe ran out on her family and tried to make a new life for herself, maybe in the whites, in the land of the whites.
Are you all right? I'm fine.
I love a good rear view mirror shot. I was watching I watched so many Franco movies. Oh shoot, it's the one with the rich chick who kind of toys with her like servants and gets assaulted, and then she like gets really into it. That doesn't really narrow it down. It's like it doesn't matter. But there was a shot in that movie near the beginning where you have one of the main characters, and he's looking in the rearview mirror at the other main character getting assaulted, and he's talking. Cecilia, thank you, Cecilia. I like that Jason goes to a different one. But yeah, it was Cecilia. But of course, Franco movies, almost every single one of them is dubbed, and this is no different. And it's such a great way of doing dubbing. That's not what's happening here, obviously. But what I love about that shot in Cecilia is not only is a rear view mirror shot automatically good, because of course, you have your frame, right? And it's like, what is this, like 235, 220? I think this is 235. But then you also have a frame within it's like that monolith thing again. It's a frame within the frame. And so you basically have a secondary 235 ratio, and then all this is just framing. And then you're also focusing on one of the most important parts of an actor's entire body, their eyes, which we can put glasses on because we can do anything we want. We are gods. Anyway, and when that character is seeing something that really, really unnerves them or needs to be like highlighted for us, the viewer, this is a great way of doing a close-up without it just being a boring close-up. Because in addition to having a frame within a frame, we also have foreground and we have background. So we're adding layers to our frame, to our composition. Good stuff, good stuff.
Mom, look out!
And I love that we have this alternate frame where we're essentially just moving the camera over to sort of the passenger side, or like the center, basically just giving us the woman's POV in the scene. And of course, our guy here is almost center of frame, a little off, and has his red hat, which is very smart. I mean, if you want to watch the trailer, you can just go and watch the trailer. This is what I do, buckaroo. I aim to lull people to sleep.
Mom, look out!
The perfect lie! Wait, are they using... What the fuck? Wait a second. Oh, because they're prawns. Okay. I don't think I've ever seen anyone use, like, the crab leg cracker thing on anything other than a crab and maybe a lobster. This is so weird. What a weird fucking... I think that... Is that just like a... Is that a white people thing that I don't know about? Do I not know enough about my own culture? Because I've never seen this before. Maybe I'm just crazy. I don't know. Maybe I just don't eat prawns right. I don't know. Do you have an all-time favorite trailer, one that really sticks out in particular? This is kind of a... This is... So, well, I mean, to go, like, super mainstream, the Mad Max Fury Road trailers are my all-time favorites. I love that trailer so much. But I really love the trailer for the Funny Games remake. I don't remember if the original had a trailer like that, but the Funny Games remake is really strong. And it's also a lot like the Clockwork Orange trailer. I like those, like, flash, like, just telling you what to expect, but not really giving you a lot of plot beats trailers. I think those are a lot of fun. But I like trailers in general. Trailers are a lot of fun. Again, a lot of framing here. I'm not going to really dive too much into this. Although we do, once again, much like fucking Boogeyman, we've got the 3 windows with one character on the far left. Look at that. Ha! I'll be. Anyway, I do want to get to my other stuff. So, and actually, here's an idea. I should check out the Roadhouse trailer. Oh, fuck me. Yeah. Spent enough time with that fucking movie. Also, I need to do this thing. I keep forgetting to do this. So what was the movie? Burp, 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 burp. Labyrinth of Cinema. All right, add it to my watch list. Where is this available? Looks like it's from 2019. A cool 3 hours. Well, I will try. I think, did this come out on Blu-ray from one of the boutique labels? This looks really familiar. Anyway. Oh yeah, the Leatherface trailer. Oh, that's a great one. Let's look at that one too. Let's just look at some trailers. Fuck yeah, man. I was gonna watch 2001, but that's a great. Oh wait, is there an HD version? Yes, Queen. All right. All right, so let's keep this. Let's get through the rest of this.
Sebastian.
Okay, so it does look like she's either I'm gonna call it, and I am always generally wrong, but I'm gonna call it and say that either she's hallucinating because of a guilt complex, or her old family is actually, like, finding her. I don't know. This stuff. Again, you got your 3. I mean, it's a little offset, which is fine, but you have, foreground, midground, background. Very strong.
Someone's there, can't you see? What are you talking about?
Really, anytime you want to, like, make a point of something, just put it in the center of the frame, you're good. That's like the cheap and easy way to get your audience's eye on something. Oh God. Like it. Whoa. Okay, so I thought I recognized the name. So yeah, director of Hauzu. It's like his final testimony to film meets Tim and Eric. God damn, you are selling the shit out of this for me right now. So I'm gonna make it a point to nab that sucker and watch it. Thank you. And everybody, don't forget to like the stream, guys. Half of you have not liked the stream. Come on. Let's get this going, guys. Come on. Like this shit.
You see?
What are you talking about?
Someone's coming.
So she's crazy. She's a crazy broad.
There are people out to hurt us.
Oh, I always like, this is all, so, if you want to create a sense of unease, you want to end your frame at weird parts of the anatomy. And sometimes it doesn't, like, there's certain things that don't work too well, like ending a shot, like, at the, or like at the joint of the wrist or at the elbow is usually pretty not great. But one thing that is not normal for cinematography is ending at the neck. But that's the best way to, or not the best way, but a great way of creating unease, because we're focusing on our heroine. And of course, this is a very, this is probably like, if this is like a 1.8 lens, it's maybe at like a, like 2.8 or something. Like it's very, very open. So the background is nice and fuzzy. So we don't really, we have no one else to really focus on except for our main character and a little dot of red in the back where the cap is, which you might not even notice when you're initially watching the shot, but they have specifically not placed anything else red in the frame other than that hat. Even like there's some purples, there's yellow, there's blue, but there's not red other than that hat. And so we have her in this foreground. And if you didn't want to draw attention to the fact that she is in a unfortunate state of mind, you would probably cut her off like mid upper arm, you know? That'd be the bottom of your frame. But instead, we're cutting her off right at the neck, which feels unnatural. It's not something that makes any sense. We don't expect to see people cut at joints in frames. At least not, the subject to be cut at a joint. And then also we're looking slightly downward at her. It's very slightly downward, which creates a sense that she is not in control of the situation. And that we are, we know more than her. And part of that knowing is this guy right here. So that's another great shot. And then, of course, yeah, this is probably, I'm assuming this is probably a slow, they probably slowly focus in on him in the final film. Also, wait, what? Oh, I didn't even notice. I didn't notice the fucking, I'm gonna call him brother and call her sister, because I don't know what the fuck their deal is, but I'm assuming they're brother and sister, and that they're her kids. But we got brother and sister. She's wearing this yellow outfit, which also we don't see. Like, this guy's tie is kind of yellow, but she has like this bright yellow dress on, a little tiara, and he has that red hat. Really strong iconography there.
Not to bring violence against us. What kind of messed up game are you playing?
Is it true?
So, like, when he says, is it... Oh, okay, here we go. So he says, is it true? Probably because they're talking about her having a previous family or a previous life. That looks like a Christmas video of the sister opening presents.
What happened in the past, me?
It's not what you think.
Who are you?
You sure you want to go through with this?
Of course.
Okay, and that basically tells us that it's not in her head. So it looks like it's actually... Oh! Megadeth, you are beautiful. Thank you for that. I'm just going to throw this into another tab. Thank you. All right, let's just finish this up real fast.
Run. Run. And run.
Oh, it's her itching her weave. Oh my god, I didn't catch that. Because there she is. Oh, there she is, itching it. Okay. All right, never mind. Okay. I would not call something that's simply a thriller about let's say black issues. I wouldn't necessarily I find it weird to just say, "Oh, well that's a Get Out riff or, direct influence of Get Out." There's been these kind of movies for a long time. I mean, it's not anything that new. Now, did it get bankrolled because of Get Out? Very possibly. Jordan Peele is a big influence right now, but I don't necessarily know that is all the way him. I'm gonna get rid of 65. I don't really care about watching 65, but that looks interesting. I'm very intrigued by it. I wish I could see it in a theater, but fuck me. So Knock at the Cabin. Knock at the Cabin. I'm actually in the middle. I'm literally halfway through the novel this is based on right now. The Cabin at the End of the World. I do not understand why they called it Knock at the Cabin. That's a terrible title. Universal, you should be ashamed of yourselves. But what's interesting about this is this is shot on film, and it's shot specifically on some, I think, spherical lenses that I don't remember the details, but they were lenses specifically associated with 90s thrillers, which I kind of see. I don't think it really translates that well, but it looks good. I hate that this music is playing because I'll probably get a strike. Not a strike, but a claim. So right off the bat, you have the Groff, and the book is also one thing that I found fascinating about this initial trailer. Oh, Lyndon Hawk saw an advanced screening. Amazing. Pacing is weirdly fast. I had issues with the ending, but it was good. Okay, well that's rad. As I said, I've only read half the book so far, so I have not gotten to the ending in that. So I'm very curious. I very rarely read a book ahead of watching its adaptation, but I thought this would be a fun experiment in that. So that's why I'm reading it. And so the book is about these two dads, this gay couple, and their little Asian daughter, Wen, the little Chinese daughter, Wen, who has a bit of a hair lip. And so far, very accurate. There's a cabin, there's two dads, there's an adopted Chinese daughter with a hair lip. In the book, one of them is bald and one of them has long hair. I do question, one thing I was a little like, is it's two white guys with neatish cropped haircuts. Interesting choice. They do, you can kind of see that one is dressed more, formally isn't the right word, but dressed nicer in the traditional sense, and one is a bit more ill-kempt. Of course, the Groff is well-shaved, and then his partner is not as shaved, has a bit of that 5 o'clock shadow. His hair's a little bit messier. The Groff's is a bit neater, but they look very similar. You got to help me out, guys. Like two white guys, they look too similar. I'm just gonna say it. I'm just gonna say it. All white people look alike. That's what I'm saying. I gotta ask Lyndon Hawk, David, how's the relationship between the dads and Wen? Like, how does that work? That's my biggest. That's one thing I really like about the book so far, is I feel like that's a really nice relationship. And I also, second question, if you'd be so kind as to answer, the dialogue from the four peeps that come and make their world sadder is usually very. Oh my, we're getting some quality. Bullshit in the chat there. Where is that? I can't tell who that is in my thing. Let's see. Oh, a new AI dating. Hey, Ace, shut up. Ace. Ace. Shh. Shh. Hey, shh. I'm trying to block somebody. Hey. Hey. Ace. Stop. Ace. Hey. What's wrong? There's nothing out there. Nothing is happening. Oh, that dog is going to be the death of me. Let's see. The character stuff really works. The two dads have starkly different personalities and different ways to interact with their daughter. Sweet. Wait, can I just... Where do I... report. There we go. Unwanted commercial content or spam. There we go. Okay. Cool. All right. Anyway. I'm not going to break this down too much. But, you know, again, like, you know, this is more... You basically have two sides to this frame. With the dads kind of... This is basically right there. That's how you got it split. Really, if you can just... The rule of thirds... in any other type of rule of composition, as long as you're being symmetrical, that's really the important thing. As far as an easy, Ace, come on, you're killing me. Jesus. I'm like losing my brain. But like, as long as you're being like, you could, you know, bring this even, actually you could like, I mean, you can go wild with this. And so long as it is symmetrical, you're going to have an attractive-ish frame, which is not hard to do. Like, you know, the way that architecture works, you know, like this is a very easy, like you have, you know, these lines right here, you know, even the way that they're sitting, you have them in their own little parts of the frame. You know, you have the slant of the roof, you know, all of these vertical lines. Like, it's, you know, it's very, very basic. You know, all the fucking trees in the background. Like, you can use your environment to your advantage with very little set dressing. That said, there is some very smart production design here. This little fucking table here just, you know, makes it a little less barren. The logs are a great addition because they basically occupy their own part of the frame. God, I think, isn't this for like logs? No, not logs. What is that for? Oh, it's like a trash can. I don't go out much. But you know, it's like, you know, basic shit, and it looks great. Oh shoot. There we go. Love this shot of Win as well. That's a great shot. Shooting through shit, that's my favorite. Whenever, that's right, Megadeth. Yes, symmetrical is calming. Offset's a bit jarring, such as the chick's, you know, head in that group shot at the in the last trailer. And actually, let's. Oh, this makes it a good idea. Let's check for where it goes a little off the rails in the more horror elements. Not that there's that much horror in the trailer, but let's see if it goes off the rails anywhere. Because I was not paying attention for that earlier. But I love this shot. When we watch Franco movies at my friend's house, they like to play drinking games. I don't play drinking games, but they play a drinking game, and one of them is shooting through a mirror or shooting through an object, and they get really plastered. And those are always fun shots. There's that big man. Now in the book, he's like in his, he's like 24 or something, not tattooed, long hair, but is a big hulking piece of man. So it makes sense that they would get Dave Bautista. I think he's perfect for the role, even though it's not exactly, you know, a 1-to-1. Oh yeah, the blurring of reality through the glass. Fucking straight up. That's a good catch. Of course, you know, if you're... God damn it. So, always good to just have like a nice close shot. You know, there's not really any... There's not really much in the way of framing here. It's just she's kind of on the right side of the frame. There's the background is extremely out of focus. Just tight shot, showing this child's confusion at seeing a stranger in the woods approaching her. You know, because you don't want to distract from that. You just want to see the character react, which is great. I'm so glad that Batista is the highlight of the film, by the way. And actually, like, this works. You got this very wide spherical lens that is kind of distorting the frame a little bit as we approach the door. So because it's okay, $5. I will check. Okay, let me add that to the lineup here. All right. Okay. Oh, but it's so it's distorting the frame, and it subconsciously makes us feel like we are inside an actual cabin. You know, they definitely shot on a set, and but by doing this, you feel the claustrophobia of the setting. It's also a little weird, you know. It's off-putting. Yep, focal claustrophobia. All right, so yeah. Again, other than like this is like none of the framing is bad or anything, but it's not really trying to look as pretty as previous shots. Like this is separated into thirds, of course, and of course these two kind of go together, and then you have the door, which is in focus. You know, which is where where our attention is at. You know, this is also, this doesn't really matter because you know where the knock is coming from, but it's a great way of getting across where a noise is coming from. So like if we were doing like the Boogeyman movie again, and you wanted to get across that there's a noise under the bed, easy way of doing that is you focus on like under the bed. Maybe you tilt down towards the bottom of the bed, or you know, whatever, and that tells the viewer visually where that sound is coming from, because of course, you know, they're not in the room. Also, good sound design helps. But let's see, there's a lot of Jonathan Demme-like shots of characters talking directly into camera too, which I think the teaser showed, which adds to claustrophobia. Yeah, I did notice that. I don't remember if it's a lot in this trailer or the other trailer. Oh shit. But let's see. I think this one has it. Of course, I love, this is really not terribly important. Obviously, you see, actually, let's get, I love this shot of his massive fucking hand with all of its tattoos and her little baby hand. But also, I love that he's got the Wu-Tang symbol. He's got the Spectre symbol, because he was, of course, in Spectre. He's got the Batman symbol. And I don't remember what this one is, but it's also something special. And then I feel like there's something else that I'm just not thinking of with his tattoos. But anyway, just the fact that it's like, hi, I'm Dave Bautista. I was in the film Spectre. I think that's fun. But anyway, great shot. Of course, you know, we're uneasy because it's this giant hand that we're focusing on, very tight. Very shallow depth of field, and his little Betty hand. God damn it.
It's nice to meet you.
And of course, you know, we're looking down from more or less the perspective of De Bautista as Leonard, and making this character feel alone and unsure. It's, again, shallowed up the field. You can see the uncertainty on her face. She's very alone, kind of pushed off onto the side of the frame. Great stuff. Gotta have a macro shot of a grasshopper. Come on.
Why are you here?
In the book, she's collecting. Well, is it crickets or grasshoppers? I don't remember actually, but one of those fucking bugs in a jar, and that's where the jar shot comes from. And then Leonard comes and helps her a bit with collecting the little fuckers.
I suppose I'm here to make friends with you.
Also, our angle is canted. That's another way of showing unease. Again, it's really like it's any time a frame is not a normal ass frame. That's the idea. So a canted or Dutch angle shot helps. So it's Dutch angle plus that very shallow depth of field, plus it's super fucking close in her face. So we're uneasy. You know, there's a stranger talking to a kid. Grasshoppers, thank you. I got that. It's called a Hitchcock zoom, but is there another word for that? Anyway, Hitchcock zoom is basically you're zooming out as you're pushing in, and it creates a weird feeling because, of course, the lens elements are changing to accommodate that zoom while you're changing the distance, I guess, of the subject.
But my heart is broken.
Why is it broken?
We're getting really Dutch here. We are super Dutch. I'm surprised she's not, like, going weird. Vertigo effect, thank you.
Because of what I have to do today.
Center frame, you've got Redmond and Adriana, I think. Oh, and here we have, again, like, okay, so, and this is not terribly complicated, but whereas we've had a lot of shots leading up to this, pre-Leonard coming into the picture, we had a lot of shots straight on of the cabin, straight on of our characters hanging out, very symmetrical. This one, there's obviously going to be symmetry, but the shot itself is not as symmetrical. You know, we're looking at the door from an angle, from the character's point of view as that loud knocking is happening, and again, creating unease. Same thing. I mean, this is, I don't even know that you need any further commentary here. It's just weird. It's a weird thing to see. But we're not, you know, we can't, you know, the characters are unsure. They can't see fully what's going on, blah, 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 blah. And you have these weird ass weapons.
Carrying something that looks like a pick with a chain and a mallet head.
You see the four of us?
There's, you know, again, I'm not, like, this is nothing too crazy, but we're looking up at a weird angle at the characters. They're uncertain. You feel they're uneasy because it's an uneasy shot.
Four of us have a very important job to do.
Ugh.
In fact, it might be the most important job in the history of the world.
So this is one of those demi shot. Well, not the talking towards the camera, but more or less a demi shot. So dead center, shallow depth of field. Straight on. She's probably, I think what's most likely happening in this moment is Leonard is crouching down in front of her. Or no, I'm sorry. Well, it could be. That or she's looking at the doorknob. Sorry, I totally forgot about the doorknob. This is, by the way, much nicer than I didn't think the cab, like the way it's described in the book, it's not quite as nice as the cabin, I don't think, unless I'm just misreading it. So a bunch of action, bum 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 bum.
We were called and are united by a common vision.
And this is one of those, well, this is straight from the book, first of all. They just line up like this, but but, you know, it's weird to see people lined up shoulder to shoulder. Simple as that. And of course, you also have the lens that's creating a bit of a distortion.
Which has now become a command that we cannot ignore.
Looking down at our characters, showing power dynamics. I see they took away. They don't have the sliding door. That's too bad. A lot of and like the shelving back here is really smart because you basically just have like built-in symmetry and built-in lines to work with, as opposed to like more basic walls like with like a couple pictures or whatever. There's just more to work with there. You could tear those down, create some action beats, a lot of stuff.
The four of us are here to prevent the apocalypse.
Ooh. Again, Shia LaBeouf. This is a great shot, not only because Batista's head is amazing, but because, again, it creates thirds. And, of course, he's looming in the foreground, and these two are just kind of small and, you know, tied up. Self-explanatory.
If you fail to choose,
again, right there. Perfect.
The world will end.
And of course, he's delivering the big plot beat that they're trying to save the world. So of course, you're going to get really tied on his beautiful fucking mug. And then you have this awful fucking title. Yeah. And then you get a little. Wait, did I miss it? God damn it, so quick. And then you have this little bit, which plays into how they kind of contend, how their rules go. But that, I think, is all you need to know. I'm going to go ahead and tell you right now, don't watch this second trailer, because it shows way too much. I would say you can get to about, about halfway through this trailer. And that's it. Because it, like, you get through to the initial concept, and you get a moment that's given in the book a little less than halfway through, and then it just goes off the rails into stuff that I haven't even gotten to in the book yet. So don't watch this trailer. Bad trailer. Bad. Shows too much. I'm going to go use the restroom real quick because I got to pee like a bitch in heat. So, oh, what's the thing? What am I thinking of right now? Oh, right. I'm just going to leave y'all with something while this will get me a copyright hit, but I can just cut it later. I'll be right back.
Looks like some kind of garage sale.
Oh my God. If you haven't watched Price Master, it's amazing. Old ass video, but amazing piece of work. The moment's not as spoilery as it seems, since the is it real or not thing is an answer to the third act even after you see it. I know, but it shows so much of like the events of what they do with like Redmond. It just seems like a lot is shown, and that kind of bugged me. It feels like I feel like you shouldn't really spoil anything that comes after like the midpoint. So, but who knows? I mean, maybe it is fine. Anyway, we are going really long. I've talked so much through like 2 or 3 trailers. So let's do the requests. Oh, right, this one. God, it's so cool. Wait, what do we got? What do we got here? So many. I'm gonna pop through these next time. This is gonna be my next live stream. Is just this right here. I'm gonna go ahead and subscribe to this mother trucker. And yeah, that'll be. I'm just gonna pop that over somewhere so I can remember it. So let's get through Labyrinth of Cinema first, since that's the paid for one, and then look at Leatherface, and I might not get to Roadhouse. All right, what do we got here? Oh.
広島尾道。ここは海辺の映画館。
Is that? Wait a second. Oh my god. Oh my god. I love it. Ah. I love this man's love of green screen and flying heads. I love it so much. Like, it's so it's so it's one of those things where it's so weird to see in a film, and it is that Tim and Eric thing, I guess, to see such obvious matting out of shit and compositing, and like it looks like you can see where like the let's see if I can, you can see where the whatever this instrument is clips right there, where they've kind of like cropped it out. Again, like a lot of green screen, like whatever the fuck's happened. Like this is 3 layers right here. You've got this image, you've got her on a green screen being popped onto this edge. You got the moon back here, just being keyframed into shot. Oh my god. Like, it's you know, it's one of those things. It's not a mistake. It's just, it's his style, and he's going all in on it. Oh man, I'm like, I don't even have anything to break down here. I just am really excited to see this. I love these guys marching across the ocean. Ah! Oh, the spotlight.
人類の歴史はいつもアンハッピーで、未だ実現したこともないハッピーなんて嘘の大嘘。これも大嘘。
Oh my god! Well, fuck. Yeah. Yeah, I'm super pumped. I actually, it's funny. One of my goals this year is to go through some director filmographies that I've been neglecting, and Obayashi's is on that list because I love House so much. So definitely watching this sooner rather than later. I might do a little. Oh gosh, I might like grab like 3 films, including this one, outside of House, and do a little career retrospective with some of his movies, because god damn, that makes me that was very good call. Very good call. I'm super pumped for that now. Thank you. Is that fucking Justin DeClue? Fucking Justin DeClue. Goddamn, reviewing The Blue a year ago. That's amazing. Yeah, I'm gonna have to dig into that. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Both for money and for showing me that. I don't have anything I can really dissect, obviously, but because it's just bonkers banana town. But I will, since you turned me on to that and you gave me money to look at the trailer, I will do a video reviewing that as soon as I, actually get it and watch it. And I'll probably, since I'm trying to do more small reviews, I'll probably just do like as I said, I'll probably do like 3 of his movies, maybe 4 if I revisit Hauzu, and just do some little reviews to pop through the career. I just feel like there's a lot of directors who, like, I've seen 1 or none of their movies, and I should at least, like, when I go on Letterboxd and you see, like, the, in order of popularity, I should have, like, those first 4 at least knocked out, Yeah, Important Cinema Club, baby! Love Important Cinema. If you want to know what podcasts I enjoy, Important Cinema Club and Knowledge Fight are my 2 big ones. Yeah. All right, so let's take a look at this Leatherface trailer. This is a trailer for the ages. So this is how I think about this trailer a lot, actually, because this is how trailers should be. Because you don't know dick about the movie after watching this trailer. So we have this nice crane shot coming down. This big burly man in front of a lake. Sweet, somberish, kind of melancholy music.
Some tales are told, then soon forgotten. But a legend is forever.
The timing of that too. You see the lady at the lake hand. Slow motion, the bits of and then I just realized, does it like transform? No, it doesn't. Okay. For some reason I thought it transformed. But you see that lightning strike, which like they do a practical in the actual chainsaw, and then I think they looks like they brighten it in post a bit, but
Leatherface, Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3. Now, from the producers of A Nightmare on Elm Street, the real terror begins.
And of course, as we all know, the real terror did not begin. This is probably out of the original 4, it's the most underwhelming of the bunch. I don't know. It's definitely not the worst of the entire franchise by a good shot. But out of the original 4, definitely my least favorite. Though still strong. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre series, like when you really, like you look at all of them in a lineup, there's really only like 1 or 2 like bad ones, which is pretty impressive, I think. And this is not one of the bad ones. This is a good film. But what's great about this trailer is it does not tell you anything. It tells you that Leatherface is in the movie, which, shock and awe. And that's it. If anything, it kind of sets you up for something that's more epic than what we got. But the point is, it's just hype. It's pure, unadulterated hype. And that's true. You may be cool, but you'll never be Ken Foray versus Viggo Mortensen in hand-to-hand combat cool. I love Viggo. I love the whole, like, the evolution of that, like, hitchhiker character. You know, there's always the hitchhiker character, and it's always a little different. I love that you get in 3 Viggo Mortensen and then in 4 Matthew McConaughey. I think that's just amazing. And Ken Foray is great. I just wish they gave them all more to do. And that the studio hadn't butchered everything. It's really unfortunate. Let's see. There's a little article about this trailer in latest Fangoria. I stopped subscribing to Fangoria. I have too many things. But I'd be very curious to read that. I might have to get the digital. But yeah, like, it's like there's nothing to really break down here. It's, you know, classic. It's just Arthurian legend meets Leatherface. And again, I love this shot. You got and that's a conscious decision too, because of course they're setting up a separate shot for this and throwing the chainsaw through the air to get this shot, and the cameraman's following it to best of his ability. And you have that water that's just like drifting through the air, those water droplets. It's beautiful. Beautiful trailer. Love it. And I guess, you know what, we could try Roadhouse real quick. United Artists.
Buy you guys a drink? Guess not.
Got Terry Funk.
Patrick Swayze is Dalton. I thought you'd be bigger. Opinions vary.
When he's around, anything can happen.
How's a guy like you end up a bouncer?
Just lucky, I guess.
And usually does.
A lot of this, I mean, of course I stop on a wide shot, but a lot of this trailer so far is just like basic ass medium shots, but there's a lot of great shots in the movie itself.
If somebody gets in your face, I want you to be nice. Don't be rude. Ask him to walk, but be nice. Help this gentleman.
Like, it's all, and this is, I mean, Dean Cundy shot this, and Dean Cundy is like, probably not my favorite DP, but one of my favorite DPs. He's not super flashy in his cinematography, but he's very controlled. I love, and in my review of Halloween 3, I went a little over the top in my love of a shot where he goes from a window over to the other side of a hotel room. But it's just because it's so. Most of his shots are just like borderline perfect. Like, yeah, that's how the shot should look. And that makes him a really strong DP. It's too bad that he really doesn't do a lot of interesting films anymore. I don't even know how well shot they are. I think he did that Adam Sandler one with Al Pacino, Jack and Jill. Stuff like that is what he's mostly doing nowadays. But for a while, you know, he was shooting, you know, he shot Halloween, and he shot a few John Carpenter movies, and he's just like a really brilliant DP. And Roadhouse looks great. But this is all like just your basic shots of characters talking and stuff. Of course, following the character as they're moving towards the camera is always great. But there's a lot of, you know, it shows that we're in for a fun time. It's got, you know, it's got Patrick Swayze shirtless. That's a great selling point to have. It is interesting to see, like, what used to be the normal in, like, macho dudes as far as the amount of muscle versus what you see today, like the roided out stuff you see today.
But there's one thing you can count on. He's the best friend, a good time,
ever had.
Yeah, I don't really have anything to say about that. I thought I would have more to say, but like they're not really showing any of the really good shots. Like it's all stuff we've kind of talked about. You know, like I mean, you can trace back like, you know, the tension by using a shallow depth of field, right here. This brings me to a good point. There's this tendency, and I think it's kind of getting a bit of a backlash now. But there was a tendency, at least for a long time, for filmmaking channels on YouTube to say, you know, to really push for, you know, bokeh, to push for a shallow depth of field, to really feel cinematic. And on one hand, there was this thing for a long time where you couldn't get a really nice shallow depth of field. Actually, that's not even true, because like if you use like a VHS camcorder and you're really close to your subject, you can still get a shallow depth of field. But you know, it is one of those things that is associated with cinema, but it's not used all the time. And Dean Cundy's a great example. A lot of his shots are very deep in their focus. They're very deep focus. You know, he's really he doesn't shoot wide open very often. In this shot, he is. You know, we're seeing Dalton, his friend. Well, his friend, sure. His friend's shop has just been blown up. He's watching it explode in front of him and burn down. And, you know, you have all these people behind him, you know, watching as well. And you have the road, or the deuce. Is that what it is? The double deuce? Is that what it's called? You'd think I would know. I did that, all those fucking special features. But and then you have very shallow depth of field, Patrick Swayze off center, watching. You've got that, you know, orange glow on him, which of course is contrasting beautifully with the sign for the bar. And it's showing, you know, he's in a state of emotional. Well, I mean, he doesn't really get into like a lot of emotional distress, but until his friend dies. But you know, he's unnerved at this moment. He's shocked. He is contending with a very shocking moment, and so shallow depth of field creates tension. Blah 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 blah. We're focusing on his face and his emotions in this moment, and that's great.
I guess you'll be having that fire sale now, all right?
But like you look, oh my God. You know, you look at this. This is a pretty deep frame. You know, a lot of these wide shots. The only thing worse is intentional lens flare. Yeah, lens flare. I mean, I like a good lens flare, but yeah, it's good to try to be organic with them and not just like have people with like flashlights. You know, like if you want to like add a bare bulb to a scene and it makes sense, and you're like, oh, that'll create a nice flare. I think that's fine. But there is something about the like, we need 18 points of flare. You know, like it's fucking Office Space. But you know, you look like you can read the Matilda Bay sign back here. You can see all these people in the background pretty clearly. Sam Neill, is that right? I feel like I just lost it. Yeah, it is like the flat versus scope movies. Like I almost shot. I went back and forth on what I was going to shoot Deathface in for a while, and I wound up going with 220, but it was more because it was more of a technical reason, which was so I could hide stuff more easily, because I was dealing with this house that was constantly changing around me, and I constantly had issues, and I was not dealing. I didn't have like a proper boom operator. So it would kind of pop into frame, and then like I also had a fairly wide lens. I had a zoom, but the zoom is fairly narrow and it's on the wider side. So like I had a light above the bed that would constantly pop into the upper frame. And I also just like 220, but Sam Elliott, thank you. I'm like, apparently going nearly 2 hours is not good for my mental health. But yeah, Sam Elliott. So anyway, you see Sam Elliott back here, and or up here, who's in the foreground, and he's really in focus. Terry Funk is also in focus. You know, it's all nice and deep. Deep frames are good. It shows off your composition. You know, this is a very good shot. You have most of the characters are turned out towards camera in some capacity. Sam Elliott doesn't really need to be turned out towards the camera, so it's fine. But you still see him like, I don't know why I'm pointing to my monitor. You see, you know, his profile. You see Dalton on this far edge looking cool as shit, his knee jutting out. You know, you got Terry Funk kind of slouched over. He's just kind of in a bad mood all the time. See our main baddie over here. You know, and they're in different spots. You know, there is going to be a change in power dynamics in this scene, so it's very smart to have bad guy sitting down, about to get up, and Dalton standing, and between them are various other characters. You've got a gulf between them. And this guy right here is the store owner, whose store just got blown up. I think this is right after that. I'm pretty sure. I don't remember, but managing set continuity with a small crew must be hell. Oh my God. And also we were shooting over the course of many months, because we started in June, I believe. Started like very end of May or top of June, and we just finished this month. So that in a house that people are living in with a child, which their daughter is 7, I think, and like, or maybe she's 6, I don't know. I only know how kids look in certain ages up to 3, because that's how old mine is. But it was a nightmare. And like, there's several moments where I had to cheat in the edit to get past things. Like they have a mirror next to their front door, and I would just, it says their last name in the mirror, but you can just take that decal out. And I forgot during a really important shot to do that. And I don't have somebody, and I don't think our script supervisor was there, and she would normally be the one to see that sort of thing. And so I have this continuous shot, and in my head I was like, okay, we're gonna do this all in one shot. And luckily I did multiple takes. I did some close-ups, but that oneer that I wanted did not happen because I missed that sign. And so you see their last name on the mirror in the background, and you might not notice it because it's black and it's not super obvious, but it's pretty big, and I noticed it. So yeah, it's a nightmare. Oh, great shot.
Patrick Swayze. For that line of work, I thought you'd be bigger. Gee, I've never heard that before.
It's kind of wild how this trailer really doesn't get across how good Roadhouse is. This is actually, it's not a bad trailer, but it's a very 80s trailer, and it's not I mean, look, you really only need Patrick Swayze fighting and shirtless. That's all you need, you know? Maybe that one shot of Jeff Healey, but that's all you need, and you've sold your movie. So on the one hand, it's a great piece of marketing because it knows exactly what it needs to do, and obviously it worked because Roadhouse was a big success. But I can't say I really like that trailer. It's a little bland looking. It does not do Dean Cundy's photography justice. Yeah, not a big fan of this trailer, TBH. But maybe next time we can talk about like some of my favorite trailers or something, because this was fun. I like having the ability to write on the screen again, especially my big ass pad. But yeah, oh, yep. Heads up, we detected copyrighted audio and video in your stream. Your stream may be temporarily blocked. Wow, cool. Thank you. All right, so I'm gonna go now. I'm gonna go to bed. I might watch some 2001: A Space Odyssey while Or I might read a book. I really need to watch 2001 because I got a little movie club tomorrow I need to take part in. That's tough. Tough decisions to make. But thank you guys for just palling around with me. This is more fun than I was kind of dreading streaming today because I was just so tired, but this was a lot of fun. I shouldn't be so reticent to stream because it turns out I can get a lot out of very little because we basically had a full stream after like 2 trailers. But anyway, thank you guys. You're wonderful. You're the smartest fans, I guess, in the world. And yeah, I guess that's it. Go watch a movie.